Dear Mr Joyce, approximately 1 year ago, my husband and I, having recourse to visit Dublin weekly and seeking a place of repose and a distraction from the lascivious iniquities of our contemporary milieu, decided to enter your establishment, the Morrison Hotel. The elegance of the venue, coupled with the amenability of your staff and the delightful handmade biscuits accompanying each cup of tea, soon endeared the hotel to us, and we became regular patrons. On one such afternoon, a whimsical thought occurred to one of us, though, I confess, neither of us can recall precisely who first voiced it, that we should indulge in a shared entremet. The sight of crème brûlée upon the menu drew my husband's eye, for it is a particular favourite. Our anticipation was brief, and soon the confection was before us. We paused to savour the display. The hard surface of torched muscovado, the splayed shortbread biscuits coated with a perfect burst of icing sugar, and 2 impertinent raspberries completing the tableau vivant. My husband grasped the implement provided for mining this gastronomical delight, and with surprising vigour penetrated the caramelized surface and delved into the luscious ambrosia secreted within. Once I regained my composure, I soon followed suit. The moment the spoons touched our lips, we were transported. I shall never forget the exultation on my husband's face, as I have never seen such rapture on his countenance before. Indeed, I dare assert that this dessert provided us both with an experience entirely beyond the quotidian, and perhaps even bordering on the divine. A Baal Shimsa indeed, Mr Joyce, a true delight for the senses, and a testament to the skill of your pâtissière in the noble art of cookery. Alas, in that moment, our idyll was interrupted by the braying, throaty laugh of a woman nearby, drawing an undignified amount of merriment from her companions. While it would be mauvais ton to judge another's attire, her dress was très gauche, a peculiarly common social malaise that immediately brought to mind the demure and modest style of my late Aunt Sybil. A lady of the utmost restraint and respectability, she began every day with a brisk 6 a.m. walk around the park before returning home to instruct her household. Equally at home hosting a formal luncheon for the mayor, as she was organising a dinner for the local cricket club, Aunt Sybil set the tone for the ladies of our family to follow. I don't have to tell you, Mr Joyce, about the importance of an upright carriage and a timorous gait. All that being said, when in other parts of the country, we ventured to sample various crème brûlées, and found them invariably egregious. Eventually, we succumbed to the notion that the Morrison had set the standard for this delightful dessert, and to seek it elsewhere was but to court disappointment. Thus, each week on our return to Dublin, we would repair to the Morrison, take our accustomed seats, greet the amiable staff, and order our cherished crème brûlée. Life went on in this way for many happy months, a time which we now know was you, sir, lulling us into a false sense of comfort, joy and security, while hatching plans to remove crème brûlée from the menu. While I am not certain that it was you personally who made this grievous decision, as the ultimate authority, the responsibility rests on your shoulders. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, sir, so you must bear responsibility for the devastation you have wrought in our previously satisfactory marriage. We discovered this terrible news last week. It had been some time since we were in Dublin simultaneously, and while we longed for our treasured dessert, we were also concerned that our prolonged absence might have caused some consternation among your staff. But lo! We were the ones who were presented with unhappy circumstances when our usual attendant informed us that our favourite dish had been expunged from the menu. I confess I was so overcome with shock that my thoughts became quite scattered, and my husband was equally distraught. The kindly server offered us the new dessert menu, but I could see from my husband's bearing that despondency had already set in. It pains me to impart that since that day a pall has come over my spouse. While I have the forbearance to deal with the barbarity of this modern world, and indeed can even find some joy in the restriction of joy, my husband is not so equipped. And so I ask you, sir, can you in good conscience continue to be the thief of joy, knowing all I have now imparted to you? It is against my nature to supplicate, but for my husband's sake I implore you to return to us our beloved crème brûlée. Yours respectfully, Taryn de Vere.